I have this picture here. I designed this before. It's made by two different adaptives. This model, which is like a ray fish, and some of the adaptives are these cables which are holding this structure. And these things, these parts are adaptives which they're too small at start and end points, and at the middle they are thicker with a different profile. It's really easy. Let's have it to have an example for mass and also adaptive to finish the topic of mass. Okay, here in 3D view, let me have the plan to have correct direction. I draw a reference line and here it is. Okay. For this form which is here, these are three similar forms with similar lines, and at the middle we have these other parts. Look at here. I set my work plane here, and then in this view I can have this line as the column which is holding this structure. It's a little cracked. I use SP-line here with a form like this, for example. Something like this with this form. And we can edit this a little to control these curves. Okay. I can delete this to have it like this. And even when I want to have it, I can put it here. And this section, and here is the curve. I put it here, and if you take a look at the structure, you can see that they're not straight. I set the work plane here, and here in this view, from the top of the line, in val, I select copy and then rotate this like this. I put it here, another copy of that line. I need to rotate it more like this to have a wider angle, and I can move it more or not. It's optional. And I think right now it's okay. Okay, here is the line, and I can attach them, I can connect them to each other to have a form like this. But look at this form here, it's dented. How can I have this form? Let me rotate it more, because when we see this in the picture, it's wider. I delete this and I copy another one with a wider angle at this side. Now it's better. Okay. Another copy of this with rotate, or we can connect a line to this to find the middle of it, or have some accurate angles. And here, to have it at the middle, I can select copy and 80 degree for this angle to have it here, and then another rotate and copy of this line right here. This time, instead of 80 degrees, I want to have 40 degrees to have it at the middle of these two lines. And right now, I need this form at the middle. What should I do? Here, instead of drawing it, I delete these points and I raise this line a little. And when I click on these three lines and use create form, I can have a surface like this, and it can even be more moved. Now they are in a single path. I move this a little. I need to make it shorter, or I can even scale it like this to have it smaller. It should be smaller and moved inward to have this curve here, which I'm looking for. I remove this, I select these lines, I press M twice to have mirror pickaxes to mirror it at the other side. I'm reviewing and I'm using shortcuts. We talked about them before. Okay, I put it here, I select them and create form. Here again, these lines and create form. And as you can see, right now, it's almost done. The total form of this structure, it's like a ray fish. Then right here, I convert this to divide surface, this value 3, and here, for example, it's okay. I put this in 2 to divide it into 2 sections. I do this because here when I have node, you'll see that everything is preparing for adaptive. I should have points here, 3 points for my adaptive. I increase this number, for example 15, and then let's have its adaptive. How it is, one of them here and also here and at the middle, which is thicker. So right here I delete the previous one to have a new adaptive, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, if we want to work on them normally, we should turn them to adaptives and then have a path and draw a profile and another one here and the middle one, which is bigger, like this. Then we can connect them, and if we don't have any path, it's okay. When we connect them, it will be like this, which I can move them, but without the path they are not connected to each other. I want to have path to connect them and then all of them together and create form, but I should not select the points. The points was selected. Okay, create form, they're a little big. I make it a smaller and it can be a reference line and select these items and create form. Something like this. And this is a problem because of the size of it. When we have it right here, now the dimensions are too big, so it cannot be possible here. So we need to consider the principles and rules. Okay, here, this time, the points like this, and I convert them to adaptive, and I connect 3 of them. After that, reference, to have a reference line, click here, then draw a small circle like this, 1 centimeter, and I want to have this number here to keep it, and another circle here, same as the previous one, but here it cannot be possible because it's too small. I zoom in and like this. Okay, it's too small here. I select it, I fix the center, and here another circle, this time a little bigger, like this, and this radius. Now when I select them here in filter, I remove adaptive points and directions. In this way, lines and reference line will be there. Create form and something like this will be there. And when I move this adaptive, the form should be fixed. And as you can see, it is. Now I load it on the project, overwrite, and this time, okay, why it's gone? Okay, Control Z one more time. Okay, CNM, and I need to load it again in the project. Overwrite, C and M on the keyboard. I put it here and here. Okay, it's a little big, this circle. I can make it smaller. This radius here can be less. It's 102. I change this to wireframe to be able to see it better. Okay. I change it from 102 to 60. It was too big. Then I load it again in the project. Override. It's gone. Control Z to return it. Okay. Now when I repeat it, it's exactly what we have here. It's more in the picture, the number of it, but it's the same. Here again in adaptive, I can have a wooden material right here. I select wood, one of these woods, then I load it in the project. Wait a little. It's gone because of the chains. Return it again and change this to realistic. And as you can see, here it is. How much is its size? It's 2.15. Okay, we need to have it for the other one as well. Here, divide surface, 2.15. Select the nodes again. C and M, here and here, and the middle one. Okay, 3 points, which the order of them is important. Okay, as you can see, working is really easy here. Now you know how we should have the cables. I stretch this column, it can be longer, and a new adaptive family here, adaptive, U and N, the unit, millimeter. This time, because I want to design cables, they are thin. Select both of them, make adaptive, spline through point, connect them, change this to reference, and here set the work plane in this path, draw a circle, 5 millimeter. Okay, the plane is small, it's not possible to draw it. Okay, I can draw a smaller one to 1.5, and the radius can be here. Okay, WW, set the work plane, another circle here, 2.5, and here again I need to zoom in because the plane is too small, and when it's not visible you cannot draw it. Okay, the radius, and now I select it, filter, I remove these two items and create form. A thin cable, I select it, and a black material for it, this one for example, and then I load it in the project. Here is the cable. Now I can have a point here, then this cable from this point and connect it to this point. Okay, when I have this, yeah, it doesn't work because we don't have points here. I delete it. I put this point here, C and M, and here. Now repeat this. See? All of them exactly to the points which I have here. And if you don't want them, you can delete them. I delete these middle items in the picture. I can have another one here to this point which I have here. I select it and repeat. When you work on them, when you select them here and remove repeat, they will be out of group and they will be selectable. I select these and remove repeater, and in this view I select these items. The angle and the view is really important to be able to select them correctly. Here I select them again at the corner, I hide them, and also this side, because I want to delete the cables in the middle of the structure. I select all of them and delete them. Also this side, and I can have them again here and finish to finish it. And you can have the legs with adaptive, a column with a square profile, and also this frame which we did it before. Here in component I can create it, generate model here in sweep, and it was one of the cables. I select this and okay. Then 4 sides, and according to the center I draw something like this. I control the size. It can be here like this. Okay. As you can see, it's too big. I make it smaller. Right here, and something like this. That was too big. Okay. And now I can copy this, and instead of drawing it again, I just need to change the path. In this way I can have another one for this side. And this item, a mirror, according to one of these lines, in hidden line it can be more visible. I can consider this center to have a copy in mirror, change it to shaded, and the columns are really easy. I told you about them. You can design them. And the main part was this structure which we talked about them. I turn off the mask, and you can see that this structure in the picture is right here as a model. And if you model the columns, it's complete. And you just need to have this line as a reference to have the columns. That was a simple examples for adaptives, how to work with them, and how we can have some complicated shapes and models. Okay, after this, we want to finish the mass, and in other training courses, you can have some more examples. That examples are projective with more professional techniques and examples. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed these topics of massing. They're a little long. Try to practice a lot. Meet you in next part. Good luck.